right sides. Right, we're at the right sides, Fuzzy.
Are we?
Start the show off as we mean to go along. Looking good. How are you, James? Are you well?
I'm very well, man. This is my favorite thing we do. So this is good. Talk some spooky shit.
Good stuff. Good. I kind of feel like you're sitting on a stool and I'm sitting uptight. You look like we're balances off. You know what I mean?
Well, also my computer's now elevated, so that when I look straight when I edit. So
you don't look straight, mate.
We're starting there. All right, then. Welcome everyone to One Good Scare After Dark.
So we are here once again to talk spooky shit, ghouls and goblins and monsters and all that kind of stuff. We have got our main man, Fuzzy of the Dunlop, in the chat, holding up the chat once again. Nice to see you, Fuzzy. We really do appreciate you jumping in, mate. And we have got Terry, Deadman, again. Always nice. Now, if I can just do a quick little plug for all of you who may be watching on the rewind, please go and check out Deadman over on YouTube. He's just starting off his YouTube journey. He's got 3 videos, I want to say, Terry. 3 or 4 videos out there at the moment, and the crackers. So please do go support him, give him a sub, and let him know that we sent you his way. So please go check that out. Fuzzy, I concur. Best show you do. Sit in a phone book, James, or a pillow.
I can elevate this but then my knees hit the desk and the arms don't go in. So yeah.
Bless you. Right, we're gonna crack on because
now I'm self-conscious about it now. Now I feel like I
don't be self-conscious. You just look like a wee little leprechaun. That was I did like an Irish accent there. Did you like that?
Grand,
yeah. Jesus,
we are level at this point. I'll just sit up straight. How's that? You happy?
Yeah,
everybody fucking happy now.
Yeah,
there you go. Okay, the shit
we're going to crack on because we've got loads to get. Now, I didn't put a slide on for this, but I wanted to talk about some true life horror before we get started. And I know we're not going to go into detail because I don't want to. But one of the scariest things I've seen recently, and I'm interested if you watched any of it, James. I mean, truly horrifying, was the presidential debate last night.
Fuck me. So the last time around, right? I stayed up to watch them. I was so fascinated by it. And today I went to work and I have the luxury of being able to listen to music or podcasts or whatever when I in work. I got halfway through and I just couldn't watch anymore because it was just like honestly, fucking politics, I know, but there's been right wingers have pushed the whole Biden's too old, he's senile and he can't do anything, and most people are like, he's probably okay. There's a gaffe here and there, but Jesus, that was desperate. If I was a Democrat, I'd be shitting myself right
just
now.
Scared. These are the people. One of those people is going to have the finger on the button of one of the biggest nuclear arsenals of all time.
Well, so technically, neither of them are actually the candidate yet. So you might have a swap out with Biden. Maybe Kamala Harris or one of them might go in. But it was not good. Really not good.
It was scary. It was scary. Terry's just saying thank you. No problem at all, bud. Please do go check him out. Terry Spielberg, dead man, absolutely. Just knew he was going to say that. Fuzzy, that HMP Wadsworth video was much more interesting, I'll be honest. I don't think I've seen that one. Have you seen that one, James?
I don't know what that is at all.
Is that still linked to the presidential debate, Fuzzy? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I did watch the Jon Stewart
Is HMP
reaction.
Wadsworth I watched that one as well, yeah. He's very funny with that. I actually saw him live before. He was really, really good. He opened he was doing a co-show with David Chappelle. And it was
We've got
great.
Andy in the chat. Andy, nice to see you, but it's politics, but technically it's still linked to the channel because one of the candidates looked like a zombie. So so it's still kind of linked, yeah. And the other one could be doing it from prison.
I mean, great point, isn't it? He's convicted felon. Yeah, so
scary. Bad. Anyway, let's crack on with some more believable horror. Now, this has kind of hit the rounds a little bit. This was hinted at a little while ago. We've had a bit of news today to basically talk about what was going to be the working draft of Blade a year or so back before it all went tits up. Mia Goth was going to be in it. I don't know if she's still connected. Or
this
not.
was.
I know you're a big fan.
This was
a
while ago. This was announced. She's been doing the rounds now for Maxine, and she's talking about it. So she's still attached so far. Pretty sure the rumor was that she's Lilith in it, which I think fits a lot.
So the thing that's come out today says that the script they were working on a year ago, which is binned now, was a period piss. A period piss.
Period piss.
I've turned into hello, hello. I was pissing by the door. Yeah, that's too young for you. You'll not know what I'm talking about, do you? Do you know hello, hello?
No.
Oh, stereotypical masterpiece. Marvelous. Anyway, yeah, so the script was set back in the late 1920s, I think, and it centered around Lilith trying to get the blood of Blade's daughter, and Mia Goth was going to play, as you say, Lilith. Would you like to see her in a Marvel movie?
So now, I think we covered this on the show a while ago, but no evidence of it, no video or anything. Yeah. But there was a thing where she like assaulted an extra, like kicked someone in the head or something, and people were mad at her. Everyone seems to have forgotten it by now. She is a great actress, like a fantastic actress, I think. And she would just suit a kind of Midnight Suns area villain perfectly. I think like she, a vampire or a demon character suits her to a T. I think she'd nail that.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down with this. I have to be honest, I don't remember much about Lilith. From the Midnight Suns comics. It said in the news article I was reading that Lilith was a vampire. I don't remember her ever being a vampire. I thought she was the mother of demons
or something. I think that's what she is in it.
Yeah. Fuzzy's saying that it was confirmed this week that she's still attached to. She's going to be in it.
Yeah, because I think it was a reported but not confirmed thing, and now she's actually been speaking about the movie. So like, obviously she is attached.
Pretty cool. If we ever get to see the Blade movie, who freaking knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
This is quite exciting. I'm a bit of a fan of the Van Helsing movies, and I know they get a lot of stick, and they are cheesy. But I love a bit of a monster mash, and I thought Hugh was good at it. And this is the news that we're going to get a TV series. Now, I don't remember if Hugh's attached to it. I doubt very much.
No,
I think it's set in the universe.
It's completely unrelated to the Hugh Jackman movie. It's just everybody's using the picture of Hugh Jackman for it to say this is Van Helsing, which is, I think we're props. We'll have a video on that movie at some point in the year. Yeah. It's on the list because I really want to talk about it. It's an interesting one. But so it's a contemporary. My assumption is, I don't know, there's a Sherlock Holmes like TV show, but not the Benedict Cumberbatch one. There's like another one. I think it's called Elementary.
There was Elementary with oh man, he was in Trainspotting. What do you call him?
This is where Fuzzy comes in and says the day.
Fuzzy, help her out. He was in Trainspotting. Johnny Lee Miller, I want to say Johnny Lee Miller.
Right, anyway.
But Lucy Liu's in it as well, and it's actually... Sorry, I know you're trying to move on, but Lucy Liu, you've got us excited, because I really enjoyed that series. It's Elementary, set in New York, I think. Yeah. And it's really good. Lucy Liu is the Watson character, but she's... I'm not going to let it continue. Lucy Liu's the Watson character, but she's...
Go into detail, she's like every episode.
Psychiatrist or something. Now, in episode 1, what happens, right?
Because I was using it to point out like a shit idea for a thing.
No, it's not a shit idea. It's great.
Okay. Well, anyway, so the idea, this is modern day. He's like a detective, and Mina Harker is his ex-girlfriend, who's an FBI like thing. So they're going for that NCIS Elementary kind of, serialized TV show thing with it. Why do you need to put these characters in modern day? Like Van Helsing, the cool thing about Van Helsing is like he's between 1880s and 1930s, that aesthetic for that character. I like the idea of a show. I think there was like was there a show called Helsing where it was a daughter, it was like a gender swap, or it was his daughter or something like that, I think. But like I like the idea of like a TV show where it's like you have great options for Monster of the Week with that. You can do vampires and Frankensteins and stuff.
It does sound quite similar to a show I used to watch, and I have to say I don't think I watched the end of the series, but Sleepy Hollow. Did you ever see that? It was.
Yes, I have seen some of it.
Yeah, that wasn't bad, and that was kind of Monster of the Week kind of thing, with him, Ichabod being brought back into kind of modern times and working with a detective or something.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna go he's ageless, like he's so for a supernatural reason he's from back then, or it's just a modern version. But like whenever they do Dracula modern day or Frankenstein in the future or anything like that. I just don't like it. I like that. I like that classic aesthetic, that Universal Monsters kind of aesthetic. That's where these characters I feel belong.
That's where they live,
you know?
isn't it? Fuzzy's just
so I'm curious to see it anyway.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Fuzzy's saying there's a new Zenescope comic coming out with a new female Holmes and Watson. I've not seen that, Fuzzy, but from I think it was one of the other shows I did a little while ago. I think there's about 2 or 3 different Sherlock Holmes based series is coming out within the next year or two.
Public
it
domain.
Seems to have gone through that kind of thing again. Sorry,
yeah. It's public domain, so like obviously, you know, everyone wants a piece of it.
Everyone wants a piece of it. What the shit's this? What's this? What's going on with his forehead? Is that a real? Have you stretched that image?
No, actually, I cropped it to
Frankenstein.
Yeah, so this is Frank West. So Dead Rising. Have you ever played any of the Dead Rising games? So the original ones from 2006 was like an early Xbox 360 game, but it's very Dawn of the Dead. It's like you're a photojournalist and you're dropped into like a zombie invasion in a mall, and you have to go around and like you have a time limit and stuff like that. Really classic like game. There's just 3 or 4 of them now. So they just announced there was, I think, a remaster not too long ago, but I don't think they tweaked the graphics or anything like that, but they've announced a deluxe remaster now, and they've kind of given it like a coat of paint. I think the character model looks terrible.
I'm chuckling here. Like, I'm chuckling here. That's a 5. That's a 5.
Yeah. Like he is supposed, Frank West is supposed to be a bit of an ugly bastard, you know, but like he just looks weird in this. But I you know, it's a franchise that kind of went downhill later on. Like the 4th one, there's a lot of fuckery with so like I would like to see this franchise come back, so I'm hoping this is good and does well. You know, so I'll give this a go if there's some modern kind of updates to it. Like I'm interested to play this and give it a go.
Good stuff. I can't say I've played the original, but I'll check it out when it comes
I think you'd like it because you can like it's silly as well. You can get like you can run them over with lawnmowers and stuff like that. Like and there's fun like silly weapons and shit. So
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Evil Dead Rise, more Evil Dead universe.
So no, Lee Cronin, the director of Evil Dead Rise, his new movie has been dated for 2026. You never got around to watching his previous movie before Evil Dead, did you?
Which one was that again? Remind us.
It's called The Hole in the Ground.
No.
So it's about it's an Irish horror film. It's fantastic. It's about a mother and
fairies again, is it?
No, it's about but it's about changelings. So it's a mother and she suspects her son isn't her son, and there's like a supernatural kind of thing,
right?
And like it plays with whether is it in her head or is it a real thing. And very cool movie. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what he does next, like outside of Evil Dead. Like what will he have taken from that and learned from that movie, like to go on next, you know? Like I think that's fascinating. So I met him in person, very nice guy. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he comes up with.
Okay, cool. This looks stunning. I do like a bit of Charlie Fun. Yeah, it's very nice. So what's she in?
She's not in anything. So we were talking with a friend last week, and they had said I'd heard a rumbling about this, that Charlize Theron was cast as Pamela Voorhees for the Crystal Lake series, and the Crystal Lake series was still happening. And I looked into it today to get this slide, to put it in as news. And no, it was she was going to be cast. She was who they wanted. And the show's just not happening. So like, what is
still not happening?
As far as we're aware, it's not. It's just been it's been completely scrapped. So maybe they completely restart from scratch. So it'll be another few years until it comes out, if it happens at all. So yeah, the Charlize Theron was, I think, I might have even signed for it and everything. Claire Danes was offered it as well. Charlize Theron, I think, I know like she can be a chameleon. Like, you know, if you ever seen Monster. She's just unrecognizable in that. But like I don't know, just, and I you know, Vera Farmiga was fantastic in Bates Motel, so I suppose you can, you know. But like I don't know, I wouldn't have thought she's too pretty for it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, because I know you're a big fan of this franchise. But this series has never felt like a kind of a big budget kind of affair to me. It's kind of a bit half-arsed. So to have a massive Hollywood actress like her attached to it, playing a bit of a weird part, to be honest.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Like, she's so huge. Like, she's like an A-list actress, you know? So, like, well, yeah, she's going to star in the Friday the 13th TV show. You know, it's surprising. So I'm not shocked this didn't happen, but, so, you know, I think she would have been really good in it. Like, she's a phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, she wouldn't have been who I would have, like, she wouldn't have jumped into my mind for that role, you know? Because, like, I think she's a tall woman as well. And, like, Pamela Voorhees is a little Betsy Palmer, like, little lady. So, I don't know. But, seems like this show is just, I just don't believe this show's ever going to happen.
No, me neither.
I believe when I see it, when there's, like, filming and a trailer and everything.
The feels to me like there's just complete confusion at the moment with it, because one day it's on, one day it's cancelled, then it's got a title change, then it's not that, and it just feels weird. And everyone's saying here, you throw them enough money. I think that's the point I'm kind of making, Efren.
They don't have the money to pay her.
Yeah,
to
it
pay
feels
her
like a low budget kind of show.
That's the thing. Like, horror is they need to be low budget because they don't make that much money. Like, the most a horror movie's ever made is like not even 500 million. I don't think. I think like one of the It movies maybe was the like highest at 400 or something. So
Fuzzy's bang on. This is the feeling I got for the show, that it felt like it's going to get made with D-listers or unknowns or whatever, and then it probably just fade away and disappear. I never had a lot of faith in it, I have to say. Well, the concept of the start of it, before Jason becomes Jason, it was like, yeah.
Well, I I think there's an interesting, if it's like follows her immediately after he dies. That's the fascinating period for that character to follow. You know, maybe like in the in between, the opening of the first movie where she kills counselors, like the lead up to that. You know, that could be cool. But there is the whole Jason universe thing. So like we are getting some Jason stuff. So whether like this show just is completely revamped or they just scrap it all together and do something else. We'll see, but like, just give us a Friday the 13th
just give us something,
thing, you know? Just come on. Like, yeah.
Okay, now I've still not seen It Follows. Fuzzy just posted, it's the blade of the TV world. Yeah. Every week we've got some new bloody news about what that makes. Yeah.
It's coming this year. It's not coming this year. Oh, it's been rebranded. Oh, this person's cast. Oh, they're not actually cast. Yeah, it's been fucking ridiculous. So Micah Monroe, who is the lead actress in It Follows, and the sequel They Follow, which is coming out next year, I think. She's been talking about a little bit about the film, so we're going to go first details. So I'm not going to spoil anything because we haven't watched it yet, and we're gonna. It's one of my. I would probably say the best horror movie the last 10 years or so. So it came out in 2014, so the movie is set 10 years later. It's going to follow her character again. And she said, like, so quote, the script is so fucking good, I'm obsessed. I'm just excited to step in and play Jay again, and just where you find her, it's going to be great. So yeah, like the first one's very, you don't really learn anything about there's a monster kind of character in it. And the original idea for this, I believe, was it was going to be called Follow It, and it was going to be like learning about the backstory. I'm happy that seems to not be where they're going with it. But if you know what the movie is, the original, I think it's interesting to follow a character that 10 years after this has happened. Like, I think that's really interesting. Like, how have they been living their life since then, you know? So, yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to watch the original because I know you speak very highly of it.
Incredible. 10 out of 10, like stellar. Yeah, really. So
Terry's saying here, read True Blood started off with unknowns, but I thought that was excellent. True Blood's one of my all-time.
I don't know. Anna Paquin was fairly known.
She'd done
X-Men
bits and bobs.
X-Men.
Yeah, but she wasn't like she wasn't a big actress at the time, you know. And certainly the rest of the characters didn't have. Nobody jumped out, I don't think, when you first started watching it. But that's a stunning series. Have you seen it, James? Have you watched it?
I watched at the beginning. I was watching it. Like,
very cool.
But yeah, a lot of actors I love come from it, like Alexander Skarsgård, obviously. Deborah Ann Woll is great as well. So like, it's good.
Yeah, no, it was a superb series. One of my favorites, actually. Fuzzy's just saying It Follows is so good. One of my favorite films of the past 10 years.
It's just incredible. So I see. The thing is, I remember, like, I think the first mock up I did before we started the channel for I'll Be Right Back for the thumbnail was of It Follows. So that was the one I wanted to do.
Well,
The one
I
was most
remember
excited
you
about.
talking about it when we started the channel, so I downloaded it, so it's sat in my bloody Skybox waiting.
Right,
to
okay.
watch.
Yeah.
Because you said we were going to watch it, yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
For one reason or another, we haven't. I think this is coming out 2020 late next year, early the following year. So I don't want to wait that long to watch it. So like we'll stick it on at some point. I'll see what's blank this year. But like it's incredible.
Actually, was Oscar nominated at 8 years old. Wow, I didn't know that, Fuzzy. What was that for them? I wonder what that was for. Let me know if you know, Fuzzy, in the chat.
The name of the movie.
Very cool. Okay. Or Golden Globes or something huge.
I think it was Oscar. I think it was an Oscar. She was like the youngest. I think still is the youngest person to ever be nominated for an Oscar. Maybe Haley Steinfeld afterwards, but she was at the time anyway.
The piano, Fuzzy's saying the piano. Yeah, not watching it. Okay, I wanted to mention this. This is, I think sometimes I don't really pay much attention to Six Flags over in the States, which is a big kind of amusement park chain.
Yeah.
I just kind of focus mainly on
Disneyland and Orlando.
Disney stuff. But the truth is, Six Flags, and I'm going to come back to this in a bit, Six Flags have got the DC license. So a lot of their parks have got Batman-related rides.
Superman ride, I don't know.
Yeah. But this came out today to say that Six Flags is going all in with the horror period, a bit like Universal Studios does. And they've got a whole host of pretty impressive franchises attached to their parks for some scary encounters and things like that. So they've got Strange Things, Trick or Treat, Saw, and a whole host of other ones.
Saw roller coaster.
You might
fucking awesome. Like, that'd be so cool.
Now, I'm assuming they can't pull together like a full new roller coaster, so they're just going to tart things up and make it spooky, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But one of the things that really jumped out to us is one of the parks, they've got a Hall of Justice, which was the DC, Justice League's kind of base of operations, and they've changed it into a deceased version. So when you're walking around,
cool.
there's zombie versions of Superman and Batman and things like that attacking. So I don't know. I kind of wish we went a little bit more in. I'm not one for, months and months of Halloween prep. But during the week of Halloween, I wish we had more stuff like this, Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to go to some kind of event where it's like that.
Universal is Hollywood Horror Nights, isn't it? So they always have an impressive lineup as well.
Universal's got all
so.
kinds of stuff going on.
Florida, yeah.
So
yeah, the competition is great. Like, and these are 3 great franchises to do a thing on. Stranger Things. I'm certain there'll be a queue at the door for that all day, every day. Trick or Treat. I'm excited to watch videos of people going through the Trick or Treat thing, seeing what they do.
I would imagine a lot of this, there'll be decoration now, obviously, but I reckon a lot of this will just be people dressed as the characters kind of wandering around and scaring you and jumping out.
A little Sam running around would be fun. Like,
that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. And if you don't kind of support Halloween when he comes near you, he pushes you off the roller coaster or something like that.
Exactly.
And keep him with
your
movie.
belt off. Yeah. As the light takes off.
Buzzy's saying it's Six Flags a medieval place. I don't think it is, mate. I think it's just like a big theme park chain. I'm not sure it's linked to medieval.
No, I think the logo is a castle.
Is it a castle?
I think
something?
so. Yeah, it's a castle. Like my memory. I might just be pulling that out of my ass. I don't know, but my memory is it is.
You got good amusement parks over here? Not really in the UK. There's
Alton
a couple
Towers,
left.
is that still around?
Alton Towers, yeah, but there's not. It's all right. Alton Towers, out of all of the ones I've been to, is the best. There's a one local to me called Lightwater Valley, which when it first opened was superb. Had the oldest and the longest roller coaster in the UK, the ultimate, and now it's just dog shit. I don't think they've put a new ride in 100 years. Do you know what I mean? It's just old and knackered. They're not really Efren. No. Not really Efren.
Yeah, we're not gonna be competing with fucking Disneyland down the road from them. No. I'm being excited about the coaster here.
Yeah, Fuzzy's just saying very few, Efren. What we'll do, Efren, when you come over end of the year, Efren, we might put you on the London Eye. That's about as exciting you'll get.
You well, the London Dungeon has a little roller coastery element to it, so that'd be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
That's at the London Eye, so that'll be a day out.
Is it? Okay, do that.
Just next to it.
Medieval restaurant theme park. I thought maybe not though. You might be right, Fuzzy Bud. You might.
I don't think it's fully medieval themed, but I think the logo is a castle. But
Efren's in the chat. Efren will know. Efren, Six Flags, is it a medieval kind of place or what? Let me know.
I've always wanted to do those. So off topic here. I've always wanted to do one of those like Renaissance like restaurant things where they go around with the
Mr.
horses.
Keegan, I've done 2 of them. I've done them twice now.
Mr.?
Yeah, medieval nights, superb, absolutely
Yeah.
superb. So in Florida, you basically sit. It's a big arena kind of thing, not an arena,
like a
big
thing,
banquet hall kind of thing. And you get very rustic medieval food. It's like a big turkey leg to chew on, and all tankards are kind of pewter tankard kind of stuff, you know. And then in front of you, there's basically the horse show. So there's jousting and fights and sword fights and stuff. And each quarter of the audience has got its own night, and you've got to cheer for your night and shout them on and stuff. And as the show goes on, some die, some don't. So,
that's
it's
in
great
America,
fun.
is it?
Yeah.
I'll have to,
It's very cool. I'll send you some pictures because we had a great time last time we were there. Dead Man saying Six Flags started in 1961 and has a roller coaster designed by the looks of it. Yeah. I think it's like a theme park kind of thing, mate. Okay, sticking with theme parks, I just wanted to briefly mention this. This is Universal Monsters Land at Universal Studios over in America again. This is just getting bigger and better. This is linked to the Dark Universe that Universal put together a while ago.
It's not kind really. It's they just nicked the name and
they've started to publish some of the imagery, some of the artwork for some of the rides and the experiences there, and it looks great. There's all kinds of different areas where you've got kind of that windmill at the back with the burning kind of cross. That's a restaurant, but you're gonna have creature makeup parties where you can go and get made up and stuff. There's going to be obviously the characters, the classic Universal characters walking around. There's a couple of roller coasters, I believe. It just looks great. This is a one that will be definitely on my to visit list once it's all up and running. I think
I'll have to tag along to your family trip, I think, Peter, to see this thing for the we'll do a little video. I just love seeing like the original artwork of like redesigns, but in the Universal Monsters aesthetic, you know what I mean? Like I'm really enjoying seeing what I've seen of this. You know, it's cool looking. Yeah. So, that'd be somewhat magical, I think, to walk around. I think I'd be all dressed up like fucking Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman, you know, looking around the thing. It'd be cool. Yeah.
Looks cool. I'm looking forward to going and having a look at that. Efren's saying there's about 6 or 7 new flags in the US. Been a while since I've been, but they had Bugs Bunny characters. Yeah, I think they had Warner Brothers or Looney Tunes.
It maddens me that Warner Brothers doesn't have their own theme park franchise. That's crazy. Like when you've Harry Potter, you've Lord of the Rings.
Well, Harry Potter is very much Universal. Harry Potter's stuck with Universal.
Yeah, but why have they kept like they license it to Universal?
So Universal is an interesting one because they've got all the Marvel stuff as well in Florida. So all of your Marvel land and stuff is Universal linked, you know. Yeah. It's the Spider-Man.
But even like just Scooby-Doo, DC, all that crap. Like
you squeeze friggin' Scooby-Doo in somehow. Yeah.
I want a Scooby-Doo land, man. I want a spooky go around. You solve mysteries maybe as you go. Like I want a Scooby-Doo escape room. There's none around. I think there's one in like fucking Germany or something like that.
The Scooby-Doo escape room.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Speaking of fun, tell us briefly about this one, James. This is there's a sequel and there's a side move for a different movie, isn't there?
So this is a spin-off, I suppose. Expansion of the Megan universe. So it's called Soulmate. This is out soon. This is out like next year, I think. So it's coming before Megan 2.0. So it is effectively it's not a sex doll. It's like this company that makes Megan releases like down the road like love companion robots. So I believe
sex dolls.
Maybe, I don't know. But like
if you're selling it to men and you're calling it a love companion, they're only buying it for one reason.
Yeah. Now I've not read. Well, I mean, it's for like, you know, companionship. It's for like, you know, someone to
sex.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what I use it for. Yeah.
So, I believe I've been told by it that it's like a swapped around, so it's a male robot with a female protagonist of the movie. So yeah, it's going to be obviously the sex doll goes mad and starts killing. I'm assuming this is going to be more like, because Megan is sort of like a teeny horror movie, isn't it? Like it's not super violent, or like there's one or two. There's the ear pull scene, I guess, but it's not super gory. There's not like bad language really in it or anything like that. So, um, so, yeah, I think this one's going to be more leaning towards the 18s, hardcore group, I guess. So I mean, if you told me, hey, what movie series, horror movie should have like a spin-off, I wouldn't have said Megan, but I mean, why not? Let's see.
I mean, yeah. If it is a male sex doll that goes mad and is killing people, there's got to be some kind of kill scene with a kind of an automated pneumatic penis, isn't there? Through someone's head or something like that, I would have thought. Sorry,
I think he
probably just
like
my brain.
Like a skull fuck scene.
Like a piston-fired penis. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if I was making the movie,
drill through
if I was making the movie, that would be the only thing.
Absolutely.
I'd be like, this is my demand. I want a
piston penis. That's it. Hashtag piston penis. I like that. Yeah. Fuzzy's not impressed with the doll talking. No. In your dream. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Oh, I'm excited. I'm a massive fan of Dexter. You're about to say something.
Go on.
You went, Duh. I'm a massive fan of Dexter. I enjoyed the original series immensely. The kind of the follow-on, what was it called? I can't remember what the last mini-series was called.
Shit.
Dead. I can't remember. And it was canny, and it wrapped it up nicely. It gave his son a kind of an option to revisit him in the future. But this is a prequel. So this is set before the kind of the series we first encountered. And it's got some big names attached to it. So you've got Christian Slater, obviously, who I know you absolutely adore.
Yeah.
No,
I was just going to say, this one slipped by us that I'd heard that this was happening, but we never talked about it on the show. So like, this is an official photo as well from it. It's not like a fan mock-up. So, prequel. It's going to be Dexter and his dad. As his dad's training him to kill. Now, Harry. Interesting that they're recasting the dad because like it's the same actor. I know he's older now, but he's the same actor in the flashbacks as he is in like the visions. Yeah. But I have no problem with that. Love me some Christian Slater, and I think this is a really interesting role for him. But yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar is in it. Patrick Dempsey is in it as well.
Yeah.
And in Dexter, his kind of the sister character's in it as well.
Debs.
Yeah, Debs. And then like the Maria, is it the police chief?
Yeah.
And the other analyst guy and the guy with the hash and they're all like young versions of those are all in it as well. So like it's a proper prequel, like really tied into that show. So Sarah Michelle Gellar, I'm curious now, what type of character would you like to? I'd love to see her do like another killer, like maybe like the villain of it. Yeah. Like a Black Widow kind of thing. Like, I think that'd be really interesting. So
she'll be the twist character. She'll be the Dexter's girlfriend or friend or whatever, and then it'll turn out that she's the bad guy.
It'll be the dad's girlfriend, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is like that. Yeah, maybe it's his dad's girlfriend.
But you know what? I'm just pleased to see Sarah Michelle Gellar back in something because I love Sarah Michelle Gellar. I think she's amazing, and she's kind of gone away for a long time. You don't see her.
Well, I think she just had kids, and lived
her
life.
Yeah.
Like,
it was purely her choice. She did an interesting series with who was the guy who played Mr. Fantastic? Is it Gruffalo? Ian Gruffalo or something? Yeah, she did an interesting show with him where she was a twin, and it was kind of she'd murdered her sister or something and then gone back and replaced her life, kind of thing, which was weird.
Oh, yes.
But then after that, I can't remember really seeing her in much at all, to be honest.
Yeah. So excited to see her back. Yeah. I've hopes for this. I hope this is really.
Yeah, I hope it's really cool. I do, and I love the Dexter universe.
Christian's sort of an outlier now because like Christian, when I think Christian Slater, I think like 80s, 90s Christian Slater, like True Romance, Pump Up the Volume, Christian Slater. Whereas contemporary, he's not been in much. He also doesn't do Comic Cons for some reason.
No.
I killed cat posters.
Full of nerds. Not interested in interacting with the great and washed. Dead man. I got bored with the latest Dexter. Talking to his dead sister became tedious. Never bothered after the second episode. Did I miss anything? You did, Dead man. You did. You absolutely did. I get what you're saying, but it gets very interesting. Probably episode 3 onwards. And the main big bad is very interesting. And
does it properly wrap up the series?
Yes.
Do you feel?
Yeah.
and it's you're happy that it happened because the original ending was shit.
I didn't mind the. I mean, people get very excited about TV, us as well, I know, but I didn't mind the original ending as much as other fans seem to, you know.
Yeah.
With him kind of living a solitary life, kind of thing. But I get what people wanted. That this is a series about a serial killer, so he kind of needs to get his comeuppance because he's done some horrific things.
Yeah.
So it does end the series in that kind of way. So yeah, it is worth watching. It is worth watching. Fuzzy, she's getting bumped off. I absolutely agree, Fuzzy. Absolutely agree. I think it'll be at the end of the series she'll get got. First kill.
Maybe it's the maybe it's like the Drew Barrymore. You know, the here Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it, and then she dies really early. Maybe to throw you off. Like that could be it. Because I think it's stuff for prequels where we know like every card that's been announced so far doesn't die, you know, so you need some that like anyone else needs to be up for, like, you know, on the chopping block, I guess.
Absolutely. Cruel Intentions, what a movie. Say no more about that. Fuzzy, I wanted the sequel to focus on John Lithgow's character. It is the prequel, you mean? Yeah, absolutely. The Trinity Killer is one of my all-time favorites. Did you watch that particular series?
Yeah, oh, it's phenomenal. I was only just actually yesterday watching because you know sometimes you're flicking through like reels or whatever and you just get scenes from movies or shows. It was the bit where he goes in and finds Dexter in the police precinct, where he goes and he sees the picture and he goes and Dexter sees him through the window and he's like shocked. It was great. You know, he's a phenomenal villain.
This is amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, so yeah, looking forward to that one. We'll obviously be doing a rundown of our thoughts on that series on this channel, so please check us out for that. I'm probably not as excited about this as you are. So this is Jordan Peele has announced his next movie date, and it's going to be horror related, I believe.
So I think we talked about the movie before. This has been pushed now. This was supposed to be this year. Was it this year? It was supposed to be end of this. Yeah, it was dated for like December this year, like right Christmas Day, I think it was coming out. And then I thought it got pushed to next year, but obviously now it's been pushed to the year after. So, they have the name for it and everything. Let me check. But anyway, I know you're a bit iffy on Jordan Peele, aren't you?
I think he's one of these directors, a bit like Shyamalama Ding Dong, who has had some superb movies. Yeah. So now you go in with huge expectations, and every one of them can't be a hit. Do you know what I mean? And because you're expecting so much, the ones that aren't as good kind of really take the shine off him a little bit. I've enjoyed his stuff, but not massively. He did what do you call it? He did the Twilight Zone, 2 series of the Twilight Zone. I don't know if you saw any of that. Yeah,
he did.
Some of that was really good.
He's been producing stuff as well. Like his production company did Monkey Man as well. You know, so he's
Fuzzy saying One Trick Pony, no interest anymore. Yeah, I can get that. I can get that, Fuzzy. Yeah. So, have you got the name?
I can't find the title. No, there is. I might be mixing up. There's a movie called Him. I thought it was his movie, but it's he's producing it. Yeah. So, listen, I for me, like, Get Out was phenomenal, like, blown away. I remember seeing the trailer for that and going, this looks fucking shit, like, so bad. And then I watched the movie, I was like, that was amazing. And then Us, I liked most of it, and I didn't really like where it went in the end. And then Nope, I think, was a mixed bag. When it's good, it's fantastic, though, I think. So, like, I'm hopeful this is more... What did you say?
It's dog shit. It's dog shit. Yeah.
That's just fucking not true, man. You know.
It's true. It's dog shit.
So I'm hoping that this is back to form.
Dog
I
shit.
guess, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when it comes out. We'll look forward to that one. Again, a movie franchise I have still not watched any content from,
and we're talking about it again.
And we're talking about it again. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily appeal to us, but Jason Patrick, who we've met and, you know, personally shared a drink with, I mean, with what, 500 other people, but that's besides the point.
I was just about to say, you're using Simon logic there.
Simon logic. You know, good bloods.
We have physically seen we've been in the same room as. Yeah.
We've breathed the same air. Is
sort of,
is Jason?
I guess.
You know, so he's going to be in the Terrifier number 3. I thought Terrifier 3 was all done and dusted and was coming out at Christmas.
So did I. It is coming out at Christmas. My assumption is that they filmed. They're like still filming now, or they like film and take breaks and film and take breaks.
It's a bit short, isn't it?
I mean, it's a horror movie. Like, there's not much. The Terrifier has very little There's no money for CGI in them. Yeah. It's all practical effects. So really, like, the longest part of making of that is getting the prosthetics and stuff done. Do you know? So all that's done pre-production. So like, yeah, I absolutely buy that. What are we? July now. June. We're not even July. June. I mean, is it June or July? It's June, isn't it?
Jesus H Christ! It's June, mate. It's June.
What year? Is that because we're end of June now, man? So yeah,
it's still June, but isn't it? It's still June. You don't say, "Oh, it's July." It's July.
Basically July.
Well, it's June, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's
basically July,
August, September,
right.
October, 4 months. 4 months. I completely buy that there's time to film more stuff for it. So yeah, it's a big get for them. They've never had an actor this big in it, you know. So cool.
I mean, he is a good big name, isn't it, to add to this franchise? So, do I want to see this? You're gonna make us watch it, aren't you? So,
yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I suspect that we'll talk about it, but we might get an early screening of this down the road for. I have a specific reason why I think that. So, yeah, we'll be doing the first two for I'll Be Right Back in the lead up to this coming out and then watching this. So, yeah, the first one's hard to get through. Going to be hard to get through though. I haven't seen the second one yet. I'm saving
because
it
when you say hard to get through, because it's crap or because it's like
it's so fucking bad.
You made us watch Leprechaun, so it can't be much worse than Leprechaun, surely.
It's man, Leprechaun's like a movie, you know, whereas this is just like scenes put together. You know, no through line, not really any characters in it. It's just like fucking disgusting gore, you know.
Dead man saying these youngsters that love wishing the year away. And Fuzzy, big name is a stretch, to be fair. How dare
no,
you,
he's in terms of the horror realm though, like Jason Patric, you know, star of Lost Boys. Yeah, it's absolutely.
I mean, like I say, how dare you, Fuzzy? But in reality, what's he been in apart from Lost Boys? What's he done apart from Lost Boys?
Not much, I don't think. Terrifier now, I guess. So,
God, Fuzzy, was he in Speed too? I didn't realize he was in that. That was pretty rough.
I only learned this. He's the son of the guy that plays the priest in Exorcist.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I think Fuzzy's, you know, I hate to admit it, but he's probably right. But he's famous. We've met him, so we're gonna
in the horror sphere. He's in the. Did you ever see The Losers?
No.
You know, with Jeffrey, based on the comic book, Jeffrey D. Morgan.
No, I've never seen it. It's the one that I wanted to watch a couple of years, from 10 years or so back. That wasn't it. I'm gonna sneeze.
15 actually. Yeah, a while ago.
Let's move on.
So he's the bad guy in that.
I'm gonna sneeze. No, it's gone. I don't know if you saw this, James. This was announced today. Our good pal Ben over at Love of Horror messaged us to push us on about this. This is exciting. This is Bill Mosley is going to be at For the Love of Horror, and he's going to be taking part in the Friday night film. So he's going to be on stage commenting on the movie, and they've given him a choice of 3 movies to pick from. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre #2, House of a Thousand Corpses, and The Devil's Rejects. And people have been voting on this to see what they should hopefully screen. I've picked for myself, James. I haven't picked for One Good Scare, so I'm sure you'll go in there. I've put that I would like to watch. I've put that I would like to watch House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen it.
I think I've seen either Devil's Rejects or 3 from Hell. I've not seen House of a Thousand Corpses, so I've not seen the full trilogy. I'll watch them in the lead up to. So what I want to do is watch them, and then it turns out I'm a big fan of it, so I'm like, I'll go meet him then, you know, because I know he's like, I think Devil's Rejects is the one he has the most screen time in.
Yeah,
like that would probably be the most interesting conversation for him. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, like I don't mind like with that. But House of a Thousand Corpses would be what I picked. Is the sequel.
The Devil's Reject doesn't seem to be getting a lot of traction on the pool thing they've put up.
You're not going to vote for the sequel, are you? You're going to vote for the original one. You know, that's the one people want to hear about, or like people maybe haven't seen it and want to check it out then. But like I've said, I'm not really huge into Rob Zombie stuff because they're so, and same with Texas Chainsaw because they're so like dirty and gross, and you know, there's a spit on the floor kind of vibe with those movies that I'm not a fan of. So
it's interesting.
I wouldn't have gone with I'm excited. Like it's a fun night out, you know, so I don't really mind what the movie is. So yeah.
And the last time we went to that, it was great fun. So,
phenomenal! Loved it.
Can't wait for it. Just a bit of a shout out to Ben Hill Leviathan over on Instagram. Please go give him a follow. He's the compere for the love of horror. And if you're interested, go over to my other channel, Triple G Comics, and check out my interview with him from last week, which was great fun. Fuzzy saying Jock did the comic cover. Is that to Lost Boys, Fuzzy? I'm not sure, mate. I don't. Let me know in the chat. I'm not sure which cover you're referring to. Is that Old Man Thor? Yeah, that's Grizzled Thor. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Some action figure news. I just wanted to mention these. These are some interesting Walmart exclusive McFarlane Gold Label vampire figures, which I'm quite liking the look of. So this is a vampire version of Shazam. I quite like these. I wouldn't normally collect in this scale, as you know, but I do like the kind of the monsterized versions of some of these characters. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty cool. What do you think of that one?
I like the sculpts, the head sculpt a lot. I think like even if you don't want like vampire versions of the characters, you could pop that off and make a custom kind of vampire character. You know, easy enough. Yeah, looks cool. I'm not gonna get it myself, but
no, I'm not buying it. It's just like pretty. Dead Man saying, according to Wikipedia, Jason Patrick has made 29 films, including Armored, which is being filmed now. Good stuff. Thank you for checking that out, Terry. For the Losers, did Andy not give you one? Andy's given us one lots of times. I've got the Losers trade paperback, Fuzzy, and I think you might be right. Andy gave us Scalped not so long ago. I don't remember getting the Losers comic off him.
That's a good movie. That's a really underrated one. We should do that on your channel for the
Losers. Like I've not seen it, so yeah. Isn't Chris Evans or someone in that? Is
Chris Evans? Chris Evans is great in it as well. It's Chris Evans, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Zoe Saldana, Jason Patrick. Like there's some great actors in it. Like
we'll maybe put that one on the list because I haven't seen that one. But yeah, you're right, Fuzzy. I do have the trade paperbacks for that, and I'm sure you're right. Jock did the cover artwork for them. Yeah. These next little NECA figures, I just thought they looked interesting. These are Halloween based figures. I don't know. I couldn't read in the description if they're based on any movie or anything like that, or if they're just kind of creepy looking Halloween masked kids.
I think they're just supposed to be generic trick or treater characters. They are very reminiscent of like Halloween 3.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's Ben Cooper? Who's Ben Cooper?
Not a clue.
Because there's a name on it. Yeah. So I don't know. Did she design them or is that a character
maybe.
in the movie? I don't know.
Yeah.
I assume because there's no branding on it, my guess is that they're just trick or treater characters.
Yeah. Oh, is Ben Cooper not a brand of horror masks? Like those plastic masks he used to get?
I've no idea. I don't know. Before my time, Peter.
Fuzzy saying dreadful looking things. It's a shame, Fuzzy. I picked your setup for your Christmas present. I'll send them back.
I've never been a fan of like cloth figures like outside of like a 1/6 or a Mezco or something like. Do you know what I mean? Like the 6-inch cloth. What's the word? There's a word for them, isn't there?
Cloth. Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Retro cloth figures.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan.
Slight divert. Have you seen the Hot Toys Black Suit Spider-Man that they've put up today from Hollywood?
I did. Are you getting it? Yeah, I thought so. I got my symbiote already, so.
Yeah. Quick mention of these. These are the Marvel Legends line. This is the Strange Tales line. Some interesting characters in this, and it builds up a Blackheart, who is obviously the son of Mephisto. So you've got Dr. Voodoo at the top there. So I quite like that design character. He was Sorcerer Supreme for a while.
Cool.
Very cool. You've got the son of Hellstrom, Damien Hellstrom, the son of Satan. Not a character I know much about. The Marvel version, Dracula. Lilith, who we were just talking about earlier. Moon Knight. Spoilers for those in the chat, but Moon Knight died not so long ago. Maybe it's about 6 issues ago. He's back. So yeah, Moon Knight
of course
is back.
Did they announce he was back before he died? In this
no.
Not this time.
But we've then got Bloodstorm, which is the vampire version of Storm, and then we've got Helverine. Now, Helverine, I read issue 2 of that today. Not so good. I'll not be reading on, I don't think. But this is basically Daken, Wolverine's son, who died and came back as Helverine. So yeah, not bad figure line. Not bad figure line. I'm not picking any of them up. But.
What I will say is I appreciate that the entire line is on brand. You know, you have like the Guardians of the Galaxy movie line, and there'll be 2 comic book characters thrown in there for the sake of it. These are all horror characters, so that at least I know like the Storm, Vampire Storm, or whatever you could probably argue, but like they all fit together. I think, which is
it works, doesn't it? It works.
Yeah. There are people that will want this entire line. They're not just buying it all just for the builder figure.
There's normally with this line, with these kind of builder figures and stuff, there's normally at least one cack figure that you think no one wants that. Yeah. I would argue in this lineup, it's probably Lilith. She's not a particularly well-known character. But
she's, I think, if you're if you're getting Lilith, you're a collector who wants every character. You know, so like you're gonna want a Lilith, I think.
Yeah, some cool,
Dracula,
some cool
Lilith,
ones.
Hellstrom go together. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I spotted these. I spotted these today, and I think these have been out for a while, but they've finally kind of, with a lot of these third-party 1/6 scale figures, they'll get announced maybe 2 years ago, and then they're finally kind of released 2 years later.
Still waiting on my Nathan Drake and my Mad Max.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm still waiting on a bloody Thor figure, which I ordered 2.5 years ago, which is dog shit. I don't want it anymore, but never mind. So yeah, these were announced a while ago. They're now being released. I think these look friggin' awful. I really do. The only good thing I like is the wolf head at the bottom. The rest of it, I'm not a fan at all. Do you like these?
I think the one on the left, it might be the tailoring of the outfit, but also the hair just doesn't work. I think the other one looks good, like decent.
You think?
These are probably what 150, 130 to 150 quid.
Yeah, about 150.
I think it's, if you love this movie and you want a 1/6, I think that one's decent. I wouldn't. Yeah. What's wrong with that one? Like, at least I think the tailoring on the outfit looks good. The head sculpt's fine.
Are you talking the red one?
Yeah.
Nah. His chest. He looks like he's, what do you call that? Johnny Bravo, or whatever. He looks like he's got a huge chest. A
huge chest.
Yeah.
You can't see his fucking chest. It's underneath the. It's underneath the coat.
It looks too buff, kind of puffy. It looks.
I think that's what he looks like in that movie, though. Does he not?
No, he doesn't. No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I don't believe you. Let's get a screenshot.
Right, listen. Let's not fall out, James. You're allowed to be wrong. People in the chat, let one know. James thinks these look amazing, Hot Toys quality. Right, yeah. I think they look like.
No, these
are
more
not
Hot Toys in our chat, I would say, probably that
simple comment in the chat, please, for anybody watching. Cack or great. All right, just cack or great, and then we'll add it.
Easy there, mumble mouth. All right, fucking yes.
How dare you, sir? After 2.5 years, Peter, surely you can cancel that thought. This is the interesting thing about 1/6 scale third party. I've tried to cancel it, Terry, and they won't give us me deposit back because they've said basically you've just got to wait. The deposit's 35 quid or something like that. So to be honest, I'm happy to just cut my losses. When it comes out, I'm probably not going to pay the rest. I'm just going to say stick it. I'm not interested if it comes out. But you're right, Terry. Probably's end of this year. I'm going to message again and say, yeah, this is dog shit. What's going on? What on earth is this? Ugh, my eyes. Absolutely. See, Andy's with us. Who's Redmond's Toys? Exactly, Fuzzy. Nee frig knows. That's the problem with these third-party figures.
Peter.
Eh?
Redmond's Toys.
Redmond Toys.
Do you just like scan the comments and not even
I do.
Properly read
When you doing all of the heavy lifting on a show, James, you've got to kind of keep an eye on the chat and the titles and stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, listen. I'll be right back takes 10 hours to edit, so go fuck yourself right now. Sorry that you had to do a few slides and you have to keep an eye on the comments, alright?
Hey, I don't get this grief over on the Killer Comic Show. Do you know that?
Okay, well,
Fat Dracula, blood-sucking tat. Everybody's agreeing with me, basically, James, and saying that you're wrong. Okay? So let's just end that there. You're wrong.
That's fine. Cool.
Comic books. Have you been reading this?
No. What is it? From Lackery. No, I want to read this. I haven't picked up any of the Universal. This is the second one now, isn't it? There's Dracula and then this.
Yeah, Dracula first, then this,
Frankenstein's
and then we've got Frankenstein coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably wait till it's out. What issue are we on now? 3?
3 issues.
I will wait. How many issues is going to be? 4 or 5?
4, I think, in total.
Okay, I'll wait till it's done and I'll read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then after
This has been really, really cool. I've thoroughly enjoyed this, and I like the fact that it links into the original movie. So one of the characters, the Doctor, I believe, is actually from the first movie,
right.
and is featured heavily in this. It's just been really, really cool. An interesting, thought-out story, beautiful artwork. I read issue 3 today, and it had a twist at the end, which I kind of wasn't expecting, and it's got us very interested to know what's going to happen next. Okay. I'm really enjoying this. I cannot wait for the next kind of Universal Monsters series, which is Frank's
artwork inside.
Brilliant. I really like it, and the imagery of the creature. The creature obviously features in every issue, but it's not all about him, if that makes sense. Yeah. You don't really. He's there in the background, or you see him in the bushes, or there's a great scene where I'm not going to spoil it, but people kind of basically walk into him, and he's just stood there in the kind of the jungle, and it looks amazing. The yellow eyes, the kind of glowing eyes, just look brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Cool. Yeah, I'll give this a read.
It's well worth picking up.
When's issue 4 out? Because I might read it and then we'll do a little, maybe a spoiler thing.
Issue 3 came out today, so it'll be 4 weeks' time.
Okay, right. So 2 episodes from now.
Fuzzy scene being good, but I want more. Absolutely agree, Fuzzy. But for me, Fuzzy, the Dracula story we had last was very much just a retelling with some twists to Bram Stoker's Dracula. That's a classic. It ended. This isn't the same. This is in a continuation of the universe.
That's what I prefer. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I much prefer that.
So I'm guessing at the end of the 4 issues, as long as they don't bump them off, you could potentially come back to this character in a future mini series or a joint universe or something like that. So
I hope we get a crossover. Like
that's what I'm hoping.
All of them together.
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. Dead Man, my pulse is late. I haven't read issue 3 yet. Ooh, let me know what you think when you've read issue 3, guys, because I know Fuzzy and Dead Man are both reading this. It's a real interesting book, and let us know what you think of the surprise at the end of issue 3, because I didn't see it coming. Connie, nice to see you, Connie. I hope you are well. Okay, so that's Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives. Few trailers to talk about now, ladies and gents. We have got Nosferatu. Just amazing. I
love how you say that.
In this trailer, what did you think of this trailer, James?
This looks fantastic, man. I mean, Robert Eggers. Have you watched any of his other movies? So you have
I don't think so. What's he done?
The Lighthouse, The Witch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman. No.
Oh, I think I watched some of The Northman.
Yeah, his movies are very weird. It's super dark, but like just there's something about them. They're just captivating. This as an IP like Nosferatu, I think just suits him to a T, and he absolutely has nailed it. Like it's got that kind of 1930s style to it, like that original film was made in. There's I think some visual homages to it, but then it's doing something different. So like there's a bit where there's a guy bites a bird, like eats a bird live or something. Shit like that's going to be in this. And I just think like his take on Dracula, but like just completely unchained. He can do what he wants with this. Like amazing. So like I'm stuck. Just amazing cast as well. Like he's had this like great. Like he's had some really good actors before, but like Willem Dafoe and fucking what's your man? The man from Renfield.
Holt. Is it Thingy Holt?
Nicholas Holtz and just some great, and Bill Skarsgård I think is going to be incredible. I think I'm very excited to see. I hope they don't show too much now of him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The movie comes out. Yeah.
The interesting thing about this was, and obviously we've talked about it before, and I knew it was coming, and all the rest of it. And I know the title Nosferatu. I know you like how saying that, which is vampire, and all the rest of it. But I didn't realize this was kind of a retelling of the Dracula tale, the Bram Stoker's Dracula. Because when you're watching the trailer, it's very clear to me that this is following the broad beats of Bram Stoker's Dracula novel.
Yeah, well, Nosferatu was an unlicensed adaptation of Dracula. So like there's a Van Helsing in this, and Amina Harker, and Jonathan Harker, and everything in it. So Renfield. you know.
I thought Defoe in it was just tremendous in the trailer.
So he looks like the Van Helsing character.
Yeah,
which is like awesome. I can't wait to see that. You know, like I'm but this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. This is gonna be incredible. It's gonna be very weird.
I can't wait to see it. It's going to be great. Yeah. I want a good vampire movie. Connie's crocheting a jumper, so I'm here to get all my spooky news while you do. Good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate you joining, Connie. Robert Pattinson was tremendous in The Lighthouse. It's not one I've seen yet. I do need to go back and watch that.
It's also Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. That's a very strange one. Like, and that one's filmed in like 4 by. It's like a square box. The way it's filmed like a 1920s film. But this is obviously a kind of modern kind of like cinematography. If you want, I think my favorite movie is The Northman, because I just think there's like some of the most incredible, like one of the action sequences in it. It's like a 7 or 8 minute straight shot of like a Viking attacking a village. It's amazing.
That's Skarsgård.
Yeah. I think it's Anya Taylor-Joy. I think as well.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Great movie.
I'll go back and check that one out, because I remember watching maybe the start of it and then got distracted and didn't catch the end. This one surprised us. This is Heretic, with my brain's gone blank. What's his name again? Hugh Grant. Trailer for this totally surprised me. I think Hugh Grant, he's always been a strong actor, but over the last few years, he's gone from strength to strength in some of the characters. I'll still say, and I don't care what anybody says, but I'll still say, I'll not say, because again, my brain's gone blank. I forgot. Is it Winnie the Pooh? No, Paddington Bear. Paddington Bear 2 is one of the best films I've ever seen. It's hilarious, and he is amazing.
I've not seen it.
I've
heard so many different people saying that. Yeah. I need to.
He's pitch perfect in it. He's superb. Right. He's great in some of is it The Governor or something? The Guy Ritchie movie that he did?
Gentleman.
The Gentleman,
yeah. Yeah, he's great in that. Yeah.
And then in this trailer, he just creeped me the fuck out. I thought, this is some kind of weirdo nutcase in a house that you wouldn't want to meet, you know. Yeah. I thought the trailer was great. For those that haven't watched it, basically these 2 young girls are trying to convert people to Christianity or whatever by knocking on doors, and he invites them in to chat with them, and then kind of totally turns the tables by the looks of things, and turns out to be a religious zealot who's putting their faith to the test. What did you think of this, James?
That looks great. I'm very excited to see. This is a role outside of what Hugh Grant has done before, and I love when actors do that. I think he's very capable of doing that. It's A24 as well, so like there's a bar of quality for them, I think, as well. And this feels to me like one of those, like a Talk to Me, where this could be the best horror movie of the year. It could easily. It's one that kind of comes out of nowhere. It could just be incredible. So I've high hopes for this. I think this will be good.
Yeah. Gonna be good. And Dead Man's just saying that both Paddingtons are good. They are. You're right, mate. You're right. Okay. I'm gonna let you go first on this one. What did you think of this?
Looks good. I like this. I like Naomi. I want to say Scott. I think great actress. She was in Charlie's Angels and Aladdin. I've always liked her, so I like seeing her in another starring role. I think she suits, like, she is a singer, so she suits that kind of pop star. Like, the idea of this thing following, like, a Taylor Swift kind of character, I think is a really interesting idea. I like the first one. I think the first one had a great concept, and it is absolutely terrifying. But I think it falters in the end. I think, like, they took some story decisions. They maybe told a bit too much about what the thing is. So I hope this one is more focused on just this character and all this happening to her, and I think it's maybe it doesn't have the same impact that original one did, but I think it's still fucking creepy, like the smile thing, so I'm looking forward to this. The first one's not amazing though, so I think this could be just of similar quality.
So I think you've hit the nail on the head there for me. I enjoyed the first one probably more than you. I liked the end, I liked the story twists and stuff like that, but I found it genuinely disturbing and creepy when people were smiling. This is Smile 2, by the way, ladies and gents. In this trailer, and it might be because I'm familiar with it now and the impact's gone, I didn't find the smiling particularly unsettling. Even the little girl at the end, when she was smiling, it was just kind of like...
we've done this already, maybe.
Yeah, it didn't look creepy. Do you know what I mean? It was... I don't know.
I think it says a lot, like the context of it in the film. you know, and I would hope that they're not. I remember the first one did show pretty much all the big scares in it.
Yeah.
Like there's the best scare I think is someone comes up to a
Car
car window and their head falls off, basically, like,
Yeah.
and, you know, and this one has like a mirror kind of jump scare and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I would agree the impact, the oomph of it that first movie has isn't really there. But I'd like if it's more consistently well put together. I think that's okay, you know.
And it's still an interesting concept. So yeah, I'll definitely give it a go. Definitely give it a go.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention
I was going to
this.
ask you to put this in, and it's sad that you put it on the slide. So
I just wanted to mention this because this is a couple of weeks old now. James likes to talk Scooby-Doo, and I wanted to direct people towards this. This is a Saturday Night Live sketch that they did a little while ago, which I thought was just great. I think I sent you the link to this, James.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about it. And what did you think of it?
Yeah, so it's a very simple enough one. It's I can't remember who was hosting, but Sabrina Carpenter makes an appearance in it.
It's Jake.
Oh, it's Jake Gyllenhaal. Sorry, Jake Gyllenhaal is
Jake
Fred.
Gyllenhaal. Yeah, he's Fred.
He's Fred, and Sabrina Carpenter, who's the musical guest, plays Daphne, and I'm just like, oh my god, as if I couldn't love her more at this moment. So yeah, the basically the gag is that like they go to rip off the guy's mask, and it's not actually a mask. So they rip his face off, and then it just escalates from there, where they all start throwing up, and I think one of them like trips and falls and smacks their face, and then one of them has to like, oh, we have to clean up the bodies and stuff. It's really, really funny, like just a silly fun one.
It's only what 5-6 minutes long or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
But
It's good fun. I'd recommend it.
It's all over YouTube, so I'd recommend, guys, if you've got a little bit of time, just jump on that and have a little look-see, because it is quite a fun little skit. I enjoyed that. I thought it was good. And again, I just wanted to mention this briefly. We talk an awful lot about the boys over on our other channels, more respective shows, but I put it on here, James, because
it's a horror.
The boys it's horror. It's horror, you know. And
Homelander scenes are horror.
Yeah, I put it on for the last episode with the whole just beautifully acted, get in the oven, Frank.
Yeah.
Which I just thought was amazing, and then lasering someone's bits off. But then just before I've come on the show tonight, I've watched this week's episode, and that's proper horror, you know, Animal Farm madness, you know.
yeah. That's great.
So yeah, so if you're a horror fan and you've kept away from the boys because you're not maybe a superhero fan, I absolutely would recommend checking it out, because there's lots of gore to keep you entertained in that.
I would say I think Homelander is one of the most captivating characters I've ever seen on film. Like just him in that role, I would watch just back to back scenes of just that character being evil. You know, yeah, he's really fantastic. So I know people were. I think reviews came out of the full season when it started, and it was like 7 out of 10. So it was a bit disappointing and stuff. But like I've been just loving it. Like I just love this universe. I love these characters, and I love seeing them. I don't really mind if it doesn't push the overall story that far forward. Yeah, and there's Simon Pegg is in this newest episode.
Yeah,
and his role in it is quite.
He's got a beefed up role, and again, this episode horrific,
pretty horrific,
freaking horrific. Dead Man saying most YouTuber reviews are slagging the season off, or they're being prats. Absolutely, mate. This for me, it's good. It's worth watching.
There's also, I hate to go back to being political, but I think this season is much more overt about the commentary, the parody of like right wing
politics
commentary and you know the alt-right and stuff like that. And I feel like some people that maybe lean that way are only really realizing that now, and didn't really understand that that's always been in the show, and there's always been like Fox News Network, Fair and Balanced, and all that crap, you know. Whereas now you have like there's a character in the Firecracker, who's like a Marjorie Taylor Greene, basically, you know, and Alex Jones characters and stuff like that.
The first thing people kind of cottoned onto was the fact, you know, a couple of years back, Trump said, he could kill somebody in Times Square or whatever, and nobody would bat an eyelid.
And then Homelander does that.
Just interesting, Fuzzy's question here. I read the showrunner isn't going to end with the end from the comics. Fuzzy, just let us know in the chat. Have you read the comics? Because if you have, I'll explain.
Pretty off course, aren't we?
Yeah, we're off course, but I'll explain what happens at the end of the comics that they can't do in this series. But I don't want to spoil it.
Some characters are alive and some characters shouldn't be, and things like that.
But absolutely Fuzzy. They can't do the ending that the comic does. I wouldn't have thought. And actually, I don't think they would be allowed to broadcast it for a whole host of reasons.
I can't remember. I think on the last show we did here, we talked about something being a TV show. Could they do like super hardcore violence or whatever? Would it be restricted from it being a TV show? I think this show just shows that there really isn't any bar. You can do whatever you want. Like this, in terms of like the nudity, the graphic violence.
I'm not necessarily. I'm choosing my words carefully because, like I say, I don't want to spoil the ending. I'm not necessarily talking about the so Fuzzy and the Black Noir twist. They're not going with I completely get that. Yeah, they can't do that, Fuzzy. But also the end scene is basically a massive assault on the White House, and there's a lot of, and I'm not sure politically because of the riots and things and the issues last year. I'm not sure how much
I would almost say that would almost encourage them to do it because that's actually happened, so maybe they will go that route with it. We'll
Season 5 is the end, which is, I think, the right decision again, Dead Man. I like the fact that they've actually had the balls to say we're gonna stop this series, The Boys. I have no doubt there's going to be tons of spin-offs from this, but I kind of want this to end as the series does,
Yeah. But I love the universe and I want more from the universe, but you can't do absolutely. Homelander versus Butcher forever, so you have to get a finale.
No. Dead Man saying they did Hero Gas.
Well, that popped into my head that if they could do that, they can do anything, so.
Yeah. I guess I'm just thinking more the political connotations of having them storm the White House and kill the president and all that kind of stuff. It's
well, I mean, Civil War we just had, but that had that.
I love that movie.
Great movie. Yeah, that sequence is cool as well.
Okay, so wanted to just end the show. We've gone longer than we normally do on the show, but we just kind of wanted to end up with a little bit of a thing. We have got our stunning review for Quiet Place out now, so please do go check that out. James has done an amazing job with the edit on that.
Thank you.
So please check that out. But the reason we've done that this week is because this weekend we're both going to see A Quiet Place Day One, which is a prequel to A Quiet Place. Excited to see that. I have to see it. Cannot wait to see it.
And reviews are stellar as well.
Yeah,
I saw one review that said it's the best one, which I'm like, that's high praise.
But it got with thinking prequels, so we just wanted to touch very, very briefly on some of our favourite prequels. Not worst prequels, because there's some dog shit out there, and we're going to do another kind of end topic on that at some point. But some of our favourite prequels. So I've pulled a few together, and James, I'm interested in your thoughts. I think, and I don't think you would disagree, I think this year we've had some pretty darn good prequels last year.
In the past
particularly
year,
in, The First Omen and Saw X, which are both technically, First Omen is definitely a prequel. Saw X is a prequel.
That's a prequel. That's an interquel, I suppose. It's between.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it between 1 and 2?
It's between 1 and 2.
Yeah. But that's a prequel to most of the franchise. I still class that. Yeah.
And then I would also count Prey as a prequel as well.
Yeah, I would, and that's probably the best prequel ever made. I think because it's the best movie in the franchise. That's just incredible.
Absolutely.
I don't have high enough praise for that.
Fuzzy saying Phantom Menace. Fuzzy. Now, I'm going to again deviate. Before James talks to you about these films a little bit, I'm going to deviate slightly and say in past shows on my other channel, I have moaned a bit about the current Star Wars series, Acolyte. The last episode was pretty darn good. Still got some issues with it, I have to say, but if you just want to see a good bit of battle, I would recommend you at least watch that one. Is that episode 3 or 4, James?
5. Episode 5.
Is it?
So it is, I think, the best lightsaber fight since Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith, I think. Like, in terms of like the choreography is stellar. So
I agree.
Well, I think we should do a season review on your channel.
Oh, we will. Yeah, we will be, mate.
That'd be good.
But I think even if you don't want to sit through the entire season of it, because it is not.
Just watch clips of that.
I'll watch that one episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, James, tell me a little bit about these prequels. What is it that you think makes these ones good?
Prey, I think, was just I like how focused it was. Like, it was just this one character and the predator, and that's it. Really, it's just her hunting him and him hunting her. I thought that was great, and I like the setting. I thought was great, and just it was a really fresh spin on that. So that's what I loved about that. And I think the title's sort of ambiguous. It's like they're both the prey and the predator. I
Yeah.
thought that was great as well. So like I just don't have high enough praise for that movie. I love it.
I love it.
Saw X, I feel like, was just a return to form for it. Like I think again focused. It was very much a character study almost more so than any of the other ones. And you had stellar, I think, performances as well. So like I really like that one. I just like the concept of it of these people scammed Jigsaw. It's like I think there's a line in there where somebody says like, "Jesus, you really fucked up doing this with this one," which I thought was great. And then the First Omen, I think, is just a great homage, and stylistically it's very reminiscent of the original. It's filmed very much like it as well. There's like these kind of long, shaky, kind of moving shots and stuff. Just an excellent performance, I think, and just it was some really scary moments.
So I think, for me, all three of these movies are great, and you're absolutely right. The kind of set before the original or in between the original kind of movies, and it fits nicely. But for me, out of all of them, the First Omen, if we're thinking prequel, is just such a perfect example of how you do that well. A really interesting, engaging story that links in to the original and doesn't take anything away from the original.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then at the very end, you get that kind of a bit of a fan nod to the original characters, but done in such a good way that it actually doesn't feel forced. It just feels, oh yeah, this is just the continuation of the story,
And it added, I think, an interesting new element that I'm curious to see that elaborated on as well. That's without any spoilers.
Yeah, the very end. That's
we talk about it. We have a spoiler review of it on the channel, so we talk about it there. But there's a surprise in it that's like, wow, that's and there's, I think, really interesting story things you can do with that. So curious about that.
I think if you like that kind of movie, if you like that kind of supernatural horror, if you enjoy the Omen movies, definitely check out the First Omen, because it's well worth a watch. Fuzzy saying Rise of the Planet of the Apes, very cool prequel.
I don't know if I would count that as a prequel. Like, that's a full reboot. That's like a separate continuity, isn't it? I know you could argue that the original movie happens further on, but I'd like to think that those movies will eventually remake those.
Yeah, kind of. I guess I would label it as a prequel, I think, because it's the time shift and because
Okay, fair.
Terry's saying Godfather 2. I'm gonna confess here, I don't think I've ever seen The Godfather or The Godfather 2.
Great. It's great. It's sort of, again, cheating a little, Fuzzy, because it's half of it's a prequel and half of it's a sequel. So but the prequel parts are like it's De Niro as Corleone. It's just amazing. Yeah.
I mean, The Godfather is one of those classic movies that you're almost embarrassed to say you've not watched, but I'll have to sit down and watch it at some point.
Yeah. I watched it on a plane. I remember I've been through the two of them, and the plane was over. It was great. That was a great plane trip.
God, I'm going to be dirty again. Is The Godfather the one where they go onto the rooftop or something? The young kids go onto the rooftop to hire a prostitute or something, or pay for a girl to have sex. Is that The Godfather?
I don't remember. I don't know. I watched it a long time
feels
ago.
like a gangster film.
I don't remember that scene.
I just have visions of this kind of rooftop, New York rooftop order with like the washing lines, and there's some kind of little tent thing or something, and the pain. Maybe I'm just dreaming. I don't know.
Okay.
I've upset Andy. I'll watch it. I will watch it. Next one's Andy, unsubscribe again. Andy, you'll have to subscribe and then unsubscribe, mate. You'll have to do that for me. Three other ones. Annabelle Creation. I've put The Nun on there, and that might be unfair, but I've kind of classed it as a prequel because of the links to the Conjuring universes. I've not seen the first Nun, but I've seen the sequel, which I know we've reviewed.
Yeah.
And then Pearl, which is that technically a prequel then to?
Oh no, it's absolutely a prequel. Yeah.
So again, three interesting ones.
I loved Annabelle. Well, Annabelle Creation's not a prequel. Annabelle Creation is a.
I guess it's classed as a. Is it classed as a prequel because it's the story of how
it takes place with the Warrens are in that one, like they're
right.
It's a sequel, but the first one's Annabelle Creation's a prequel. Fuck it, that whole series is fucked because like the original is a prequel to the first Conjuring, and then Creation is a prequel to Annabelle and shit. So, those movies are hit and miss. I really like Creation. I think that's a fun one, but I know Annabelle, the second Annabelle is like the best one, I think. Like that was I can't remember what one's called. Yeah. Anyway, the Nun. I just don't think they. I think they live on the strength of the villain of that design and how scary that is. Like they're not really great movies themselves, you know. And I don't think they've really lived up to like how scary that character is in The Conjuring 2, you know. Pearl, I think, is a great prequel because it's just so different. It's, you know, X is very much a fun, raunchy slasher kind of Texas Chainsaw nod movie, whereas Pearl's sort of this weird character study of this psycho girl, you know, who and just how her mental state just deteriorates over it, you know. So I think that's a really great example of a prequel because it's just something completely different, you know.
See, I struggled with Pearl, I have to be honest. I know you love it, and I did. In hindsight,
I think X is better.
I did enjoy
it for X. Yeah.
But I think because I was fresh to that universe, it was just bizarre. I mean, at one point she kind of dry humps a scarecrow in the field, and I was like, "What am I? What's this? What am I watching?"
I'm curious now because we're doing X next week because Maxine is out. So I'm curious now with the context of who that character is, now what you'll think of it. You know, it'll be interesting.
Interesting. So, Fuzzy saying you forgot about the best part. I see.
Well, one that jumped to my mind that I think is super underrated.
Sorry, I don't know what that's in reference to, Fuzzy. You'll have to let us know in the comments, mate.
I think it's referring to the fact we have shit movies up on the screen right now. You
forgot
about it being best.
So you're right. I'm with you now, Fuzzy. I'm with you now.
The non in particular.
Yeah.
The Thing prequel.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good movie, and I think people really shit on it for no reason, and I think it's a cool. Just a cool like I know like it kind of went through trouble where they had like practical shit and they had to CG over it and stuff, but I think that's a really good one. I like that. I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead as well. She stars in Angela Egerton's in that as well. Really good cast. So
very cool. Let me know any others in the comments that you think are good prequel movies, and we'll start to wrap things up. Any more you want to mention, James, before we start to end the show?
Ouija 2, I think, is a prequel.
Yeah, that's quite
a good
one.
Yeah, it's a really good one. In terms of like being better than the original one as well, I think that's up there. I don't know, like there's not the.
Did the Texas Chainsaw Massacres ever kind of jump back?
A few of them did. So there's a Leatherface movie. There's Texas. I think the remake got a prequel. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, I think, as well. Mm-hmm. And then I think one of the other ones is a prequel as well. I'm trying to think what else. Like there's a Nightmare on Elm Street, the show, the first episode of that does the whole Freddy Krueger when he was killing kids. I think that's in his trial and everything. I thought that was really good, so I like that. You know, there's some good ones out there. We'll do. Absolutely could do a whole thing about bad ones.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that next, maybe. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing A Quiet Place on Sunday for me. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on the channel.
Upcoming prequel I'm really looking forward to. There's a Talk to Me prequel. Those films with it, so that'll be really fun. So
good stuff. And I'm surprised you've not taken the opportunity to talk about any of the Scooby-Doo prequels.
Is there a Scooby-Doo prequel?
There's loads, isn't there? When they go back to kind of when they were first forming and stuff like that. I'm sure
I don't like them. I prefer things. Another it's a divisive one, I suppose. But Alien, Prometheus. What do you think of Prometheus? Are you a fan?
Yeah, it's a long time since I've seen it. I remember watching it and thinking it was okay. I don't remember being kind of blown away by it. But I have to say I get the two of them mixed up because there's Prometheus and then there's the Covenant or something afterwards.
Alien Covenant is the sequel to Prometheus, which just makes it so much more confusing, I think.
Yeah, I get the two of them kind of interchanged. Which one's the one with Magneto in? Is that the
Both
Covenant? All right, okay. Yeah, that's really helpful.
But mostly the first one. The first one, Prometheus, is he's one of the main characters in it, and the second one, he's a surprise halfway. There's
a one where at the end, kind of all the aliens. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and watch them.
I don't think Prometheus actually has 8 xenomorphs in it at the very end of the movie. Yeah. It's not the forerunners and stuff. I didn't like I didn't like that they make the aliens not like the aliens were created in the future. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the idea that they might be like this ancient species from long ago or whatever, and also like it means you can't ever have a modern day like alien thing, or Alien versus Predator is not canon anymore then because of that. So like I I don't like the idea that this fucking android created them. I like they're a species. They're just out there and they're mystery.
They're born.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap things up. That's been one good scare, ladies and gents. Lots and lots of spooky news tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Just before we go, a few things to mention. James, let the people know about this.
Yep, we got A Quiet Place. I'll Be Right Back. That's up on the channel. That just came out yesterday. So if you're in a Quiet Place mood with the new movie, check that one out. It's really fun conversation. Just a very, very good movie. Just excellent, you know. So yeah, you can watch us just sing praises for that movie for 14 minutes.
Yeah, enjoyed recording that one. That one was good fun.
Yeah, that was a good one. We had to record it twice, fun fact, because Peter deleted the first one. Peter deleted the first one. Don't delete the next one now, because I've not downloaded that yet, because it's too big. I have to delete.
Too late.
Imagine.
We've also last night we did this. This was an interview with the creator of Wishmaster. So this was great fun. We chatted to this absolute gem of a gent for about it was over an hour, wasn't it?
I think like nearly 90 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
So Peter Atkins, so he wrote, and he's technically the creator of Wishmaster, and he created all the characters in anyway. You know, he's credited as that, and he wrote Hellraiser 2, 3, and 4. So we just had like an hour and a half conversation. It was just so fascinating. He loves to talk, and I just love to listen because there's just so many interesting insights into the you know, not just like that movie, but I think just Hollywood, the process in general, and horror movies. He's just so knowledgeable, like and he was just a lovely guy, just really nice. Like, it was very nice. You know, we're not a big channel at all, so it was very nice for him to give his time for us, and he's said he's happy to come back on at some point as well, talk about maybe Hellraiser down the road. So this is going to be Fuzzy there asks, are we going to cut this up into 8 videos? No.
We were talking about that earlier, Fuzzy.
We actually were discussing
16
that.
videos.
Are you going to do it in one video?
Fuzzy.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm just going to do a little bit of throw some clips in, and we'll throw it up. That should be up, I would say probably Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. So check it out, because it's fascinating, really interesting. Like, it's just really,
and I think you're right. I think it was interesting learning about obviously the background of Wishmaster and all that kind of stuff, but then just learning his take on how Hollywood works and the interactions he has with the kind of the studios and the different creators and things. Just it was just fun. It was fun, completely
unfiltered as well. He doesn't mind throwing words around. So it was honestly one of the highlights of doing this channel, I think. Was this conversation. So, and
a huge shout out to, I know I mentioned him earlier, but a big shout out to Ben over on Hail Leviathan from the team over at For the Love of Horror, because he gave with a shove and mentioned this guy's name and said you should drop him a line, and then James did exactly that. I never expected him to come back and say
I know, right?
So watch out for that. That will be coming out soon, and it's well worth a listen to. It's great fun.
Yeah, I'd love to do more with them. I'd love to do more in I think it'd be fun to see what we can get.
Why not? We'll
drop some out,
messages. And actually, when we're at For the Love of Horror, we've got the opportunity there to just mention to people, I guess, and see what.
Absolutely, we got the cards, don't we? So might go up and get an autograph. Hey. If you ever want to.
Because he's saying he looks like Dara O'Brien.
He does look a little bit like Dara O'Brien, doesn't he? Yeah.
As we always mention, loads of good stuff over on the channel. Please do check out some of them. We've put a lot of time and effort, and James in particular, into the editing of these videos. So please do have a look at some of them. We've got some great ones out there for you to have a little look-see at. All kinds of goodies. And please do come back and watch. If you're watching on the rewind, drop a like or drop a comment just to let us know that you are watching. We do seem to get good viewership post live show, so let us know that you are out there watching, and we would appreciate it. And please do come back for the next live show. A huge thank you to our usual crowd. We honestly do appreciate you guys sticking with us and watching we talk spooky shit. It's always appreciated. And with that, we'll call it a night. That's it. One good scare over. James, is there anything you want to say just before we go?
Well, you know, it's not Halloween, Peter, but I still think everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Everyone's entitled.